Shalom, Makiam. This is Sayanawa coming back at you with another lesson, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well. Peace and blessings to you brothers out there preaching His word in sincerity and truth. I just want to come back and just talk about, you got the Israelite woman or the black woman is back doing her thing, man. And I just want to come with a quick lesson because you got brothers that made a couple lessons on this topic. I just kind of want to piggyback off of it. There's a lot of women on the comment boards talking that yin yang, talking that smack, as if we are attacking only black women, man. When we constantly do lessons and breakdowns and go into the nature of the Israelites in captivity, as far as men, women, and children, man. We talk about so-called white man, these other nations, but we also talk about the curses of the black woman. And anytime you talk about the nigger woman, now I'm gonna say it just like that, she gets up in arms, especially so-called black women who consider themselves Israelites. You women have not let go of that title of being black, man. Because if you truly was a Israelite woman and you followed the law, statutes, and commandments, you understand the plight of the black woman in America, man. It all goes back to the curses. But even further than that, King Solomon was considered one of the richest men in human history, man. He had all the money in the world, all the power in the world, man. He had all the wisdom that you could ask for. He has an opinion on women, let alone as slaves here in Babylon the Great. But I'm going to start off with the scripture. This is Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. We're going to start with the 30th verse. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30. It says, "Thou shalt be betrothed a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and and thou shalt not dwell in there. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof." So, as you're reading here, you can see that one of the curses was how our women were going to be whores to our captors, man. Another man was going to lie with her, man. And that's what you're seeing. She's lying. She's just as Israel is the woman of the Most High, and we have went astray and went off and have cheated on the Most High by going into these other philosophies. Not only has our women physically gone a whore and lied and forcibly, or they, a lot of times they were forcibly taken in that time, and now willingly by these other nations, they also have followed into black culture, man. They followed into the whoredom of black culture, and now they raise our children up with those philosophies, man. They don't want to let go of black culture. They still will look up to the Beyoncés and the Nicki Minaj's and things like that, but then want to put on a cover their head and call themselves Israelite women, man. You can't have it both ways, man. The scriptures say what they say about women. You can't get mad. You mad at the Most High because he wrote those scriptures about women? And we're going to grab a lot of those scriptures to prove that you black women can't let go of your carnality, man, on this side. So we ain't worried about you, man. We're moving on. We're not sitting here trying to save just black women, man. You women ain't going to get it, man. This is Deuteronomy, jumping down to the 56th verse. Deuteronomy 28:56. It says, "The tender and delicate woman among you, who would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter." And we see time and time again. I can come up here and just type in on World Star Hip Hop, type in on YouTube, go to Facebook, go to Twitter. You wicked ass women, man. You clamorous ass women, man. You backbiting ass women, man. And how much you come against Israelite men in the family, man. Specifically, you Southern tribe women, man. Southern Kingdom women, excuse me. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, man. You wicked as hell, man. You hate so-called black men, especially a man that's trying to stand up for something that's in his Bible, man. Y'all persecute them the most, man. Okay, so to hell with trying to save black women, man. We're not coming in that spirit of Egypt trying to uplift women. It ain't about you women. It's about the men in the leadership role. You women need to learn how to follow, man. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down. That's just how it's gonna be. That's how it is. That's how it's gonna be. But with that being said, in this day and time, you ain't gonna find no righteous woman. You're not gonna find it. You ain't gonna find a righteous woman. The reason why I say that is because we have a great example. We have a great example in King Solomon. Let's read a little bit about King Solomon, man. Read a little bit about King Solomon. Let's read about his wealth. Here we reading right here, and this is practicalbusinessideas.com. Basically, they took they kind of like categorized where King Solomon would be placed as far as in his wealth accumulation based off what the scripture said about his daily tributes. Now, if you read here, it says converting King Solomon's gold income. This is just his gold. We're not talking about his land. We're not talking about his cattle. We're not talking about all of the business ventures that he had going on. We're just talking about gold income. It says with an ever expanding network of trade and commerce that raked in 25 tons of gold on an annual basis, King Solomon was stupendously wealthy. Calculating his gold alone earnings alone in present day figures, it would amount to a ton of gold valued at $64.3 million, using $2,000 per ounce. It therefore means that the 40 years of his reign as king, when converted, will amount to $64,300,800,000. Knowing this, that this is just a part of what makes up King Solomon's net worth is breathtaking. Combining all of King Solomon's assets, these, when converted using present-day currency values, equals a whopping $2.1 trillion. This is a figure nobody else has attained. Religious sources attribute this great wealth to a fulfillment of God's fulfillment in his promise to King Solomon. So we just see there that over the time of his 40-year reign, he accumulated $2 trillion, man, just in gold, man. He was extremely powerful. He obtained as far as monetarily or materially whatever he wanted. Now, when we talk about his women that he had, now mind you, he's the king of all Israel. This is 40 years of peace reigning on the earth. He wasn't no slave like we were. He grew up in a regal time. The women that he had were virgins, never been touched by another man. Keep that all in mind. Now, when it talks about his wives and concubines, it said according to the biblical account, Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. These wives were described as foreign princesses, including Pharaoh's daughter and women of Moab, Ammon, Edom, Sidon, and other Hittites. His marriage to the Pharaoh's daughter appears to have cemented a political alliance with Egypt, whereas he was clung to his other wives and concubines in love. Okay? Now, it also talks about his other wives that were mentioned and having his son Rehoboam. But the point that I'm making here is that he had plenty of research on these women. Jake get 2 or 3 girls and he think he owned 2 or 3 whores. These women weren't whores, man. These were all his women. Only dealt with him. Let's see what King Solomon has to say about these women, man. King of Israel. He wasn't dealing with Keisha and them. You know? He wasn't having to deal with them thotty dots. Let's go down to Ecclesiastes 7, verse 24. Let's jump to 25. It said, I'd applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, says the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those I not found. So he said, out of all these women he had, he didn't find out one, man, that was up to par, man. And this again, these were women that were keeping the law. Chaste virgins. So what makes you think Jacob, who was slung into captivity, brought over on slave ships, having to suffer the curses of Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, is going to find one? How's that going to be? You trying to, you day to day, barely can pay your bills, paycheck to paycheck. But you just found this righteous woman. Give me a break, man. And now you seeing that, man. Now you see it in a time of Jacob, the 12 tribes being risen up again. These women don't give a damn, man. These women ain't trying to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shah, man. They concerned about their flesh, man. They concerned about carnal things. Yeah, they cool as long as you pleasing them. As long as you getting the things, giving them the things that they want, man. Okay? And that's what you're gonna be dealing with, man. So you can't give all your energy and time to these women, man, because they're not about this. They're not gonna be fully into this thing, man. You know, especially black ass women, man, because you don't know how to shut the hell up. You don't know how to be quiet. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 28. But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. But I spare you. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remains that both that they have wives be as though they had none, man. So we're in that time. But if you're married to one, you're not going off by having a wife. But what Paul is saying here is you're gonna have trouble in the flesh. Why? Well, let's keep reading on down. If you jump down to the 32nd verse. But I would have you without carefulness, that he that is unmarried cared for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married cared for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. Because again, your woman is going to be pleased. She's going to be still concerned about things of the world. That's why when you call these women, they're the weaker vessel, man. That's why you can't be effeminate, man. Which means lacking faith, because these women, they're concerned about tangible things they have now. That's why a lot of times when brothers come into this thing and they were already with a woman, that woman leaves, because now your mind is more on more spiritual things now. You're not trying to go ice skating to the movies every goddamn day. Waste money going out to eat. You know, go play in the park. Your mind ain't on that no more, man. Your mind is in these scriptures. Your mind is building with the brothers. Getting in tune with the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, man. So you can't be worried about you gonna be married, but it's gonna be like you ain't even married, man, because your mind, you're trying to fix the union between you and Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Because that's more important. They don't think of it as that, oh man, through this man, in this coming destruction, through him I might be saved. They ain't thinking like that, man. They ain't worried about that shit, man. So you can't be constantly worried about these women, man. There's plenty of scriptures to show you the plight of the Israelite woman. And I use that term loosely. Because most of you women ain't Israel. Y'all niggas black. Y'all dark in the mind, man. Empty. This is Isaiah 3:16. I'm not going to make this long because, we've already been over this several times, but I kind of see these women creeping back up on the comment board. I just want to respond to it. This is Isaiah 3:16. It says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Now, what does that word haughty there mean? Let's look that up. Haughty. They haughty. To be high, to be exalted, lofty, tall. And ain't that the black woman, man? To be arrogant. Okay? They are haughty. They are high-minded, man. Thinking they truly do believe that they are better than you, man. I'm going to be independent. I don't need no man. They all have that sentiment, man. Because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tingling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the heads of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts, man. And that's why you see these black-ass, bald-headed-ass women all up on the comment boards, all up on social media, talking shit all the time, man. Because they through. These curses have bugged them totally out, man. The elect are going to be of men. Those are the ones that who the Lord is going to wash their minds of all this madness, man. But I'm driving the point home that even King Solomon, in the time of 40 years of peace, where they were keeping all the law, statutes, and commandments, the women were keeping all the law, statutes, and commandments. He had enough money in the world to take care of anyone, neither they wanted. He said, I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, whose hands are like bands, like being in prison with these hoes. Okay? This is Proverbs chapter 21. I'll just write 5 scriptures to you, brothers, man. Keep these in mind when you're dealing with these women, man. You ain't gotta be mean and all this, but you just keep in mind that, hey, they ain't got it. This is Proverbs 21:19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman, man. And that's what you see a lot of, man. You see a lot of these women, they got attitudes. They always talking loud. You don't want to be around them, man. You be catching enough hell in your day-to-day life. And then but I gotta be with your dark black ass. No, I'm good. I'm gonna go get my feet rubbed by this Moabite. I ain't got time for your bullshit. Okay? This is Proverbs 27:15. A continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike, man. So you know how you might have be late at night, man. You tired as hell. You got a faucet that's leaking, it's just dripping, keeping you up all damn night, man. That's how it is being around a woman, man. Running a damn mouth all the time. Okay? Contention, brawling, strife, contention, man. Because you know you have those the honeymoon period with a woman for a couple months, man. Maybe even to a year and a half. Things are going good. Y'all don't live together. So you actually miss her ass. You know, you want to get some box, you take her out to eat every now and then. It's cool, you know. But over time, she break you down. Y'all end up living together. You want to cohabitate because economically it makes sense, especially being slaves. You know, you can pull your money together, split bills, spend a lot of time together, so it makes sense. You know. And then when you decide to move in with her, she becomes a pure demon, man. And that's because of the curses that are on our people, man. That's because of the curses that are on our people. These women are not gonna be right, man. Not until we're in the kingdom. But we'll get complete rest from all the madness that we have to deal with as Israelite men here in this society, man. And then when I say Israelite men, I'm not talking about Pookie and Tyrone and them, because the scriptures also say give portion to a wicked man or a wicked woman, man. You know, a lot of you guys who just think it's cool to just go around sucking and fucking everything moving. Hey, get trapped up, and you know we all guilty of it, man. But we grow and we become more refined as men over time, you know. This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 20. Okay. I'm reading. I'm specifically talking about King Solomon here because it's a very poignant point that this man was the king of all Israel. He didn't have the problems that we have. He was the most wisest Israelite on the planet. And these are the things that he has to say. He says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. And that's what you're seeing from a lot of these women, man. They come into your life, they've already slept with 10, 20, 50 men. But you're supposed to bow down to them and treat them like they some chaste, amazing woman. What the hell is that in the scriptures, man? You don't need to be bound down to no woman, man. A lot of these women are completely filthy, man. Completely destitute in the mind. A lot of these women now don't even know how to cook and take care of a house and a man, man. And I ain't gonna give no praise on this video. I ain't finna say, hey, now some of you sisters out there are right. No, I ain't saying none of that. Ain't none of y'all right. If King Solomon couldn't find one, I ain't gonna find one. I just pray to the Lord that, hey, we get delivered, and whoever's gonna get delivered is gonna get delivered, man. You know? I ain't finna sugarcoat it. You women ain't right. Okay? If you right, then I want you to do this right here, man. I'm gonna end it on this scripture. This is 1 Timothy 2 and 12. Now, matter of fact, I'm gonna start up. This is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, the women adorn themselves in modest apparel. You got a lot of these Israelite women that call themselves Israelite women. They be on Facebook with their titties all out, all up in the damn picture with their ugly ass duck face, man. It says with shamefacedness. They ain't got no shamefacedness. And sobriety, not with broaded hair or gold or pearls and costly array. Yeah, you already know about that. They always want the finest things, you know. But which becometh a woman professing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. With all subjection. All subjection. I wonder what that word means. Subjection. Subjecting. Obedience. Subordinate. Subordination. Okay? Yeah. Shut the hell up. Be the hell quiet. Subjection to who? To your man. With all subjection. Okay? But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to be in silence. For Adam was formed, then Eve. Then Eve. See, you came from your mama. You came from your mama. No, I came from my father, man. My line is on my father. He has the seed, sperm. A woman's just an incubator, man. So you women need to be the hell quiet, man. And now that's what we're seeing in our nation, man. The leaders of Israel out here in the world, you got Oprah Winfrey, you got all these other dumbass women talking on the behalf when they need to just be quiet, man. You need to be the hell quiet. Okay? So like I was saying, that's the original point. King Solomon, man, he had all these riches and all these women. He didn't have, couldn't find one righteous woman. One righteous woman. So until we in the kingdom of heaven, you know, through the power and spirit Yahweh Shah, we might find a woman that pleased to deal with us, and kind of get our rocks off and that thing like that. But you're not gonna find us this righteous sister like that, because they subjected to the curses, And with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Peace and blessings to you brothers out there preaching His word, sincerity, truth. Double honors to the elders that rule well. Shalom.